Good evening. Thank you for joining us. You are watching the 9 at Night. I'm Andrew Seeley. Tonight, Bexar County deputies are asking for your help. They're looking for a person of interest as they investigate the deaths of 2 people at an apartment complex this morning. Deputies have arrested somebody already. She's 42-year-old Sharice Wiley Taylor, and she's charged with capital murder. Around 1:30 this morning, deputies found 2 men dead outside of the Villages of Briggs Ranch apartment. That's on the 5500 block of Mansions Bluff. One man was found lying near a parked car. The other was on a walkway. Deputies took Taylor in for questioning and think she was involved, and they say her son, 25-year-old DeLeon Taylor Griffith, is a person of interest in this case as well. Sheriff Javier Salazar says Griffith is armed and dangerous and believes he may have been present during or after the shooting. Investigators are also asking for your help in resolving an older case. 3 years ago, someone shot and killed a construction worker. Jesus Solis was killed at his job site on the northeast side. No one's gone to jail for that. Tonight, Solis' sister tells our Garrett Berger she wants someone to come forward.
3 years ago, Jesus Solis was at a construction site in this area, here early in the morning for work. But police think someone else was looking to make a quick buck.
A co-worker found Solis slumped over the center console in his truck, bleeding from the face. He was pronounced dead at the hospital with a gunshot wound to his left cheek.
I was in shock. I never thought something like this would happen to him.
Customarily the first one on site, Solis had gotten there at about 5:20 that day. He was also known to carry thousands of dollars at a time, something his sister would worry about.
He believed on carrying cash. I would always tell him, why you carry so much cash? In case my car breaks down, my truck breaks down.
It was only his second day at that particular site, and police suspect he was robbed.
I don't believe that it was a random person. I believe that it was someone that knew my brother. He worked 12 hours in the heat. And then for somebody, to rob him and murder him, for his money.
Crime Stoppers say Solis came in contact with many people who may only recognize his vehicle, and someone close to his killer might remember them having an unexplainable amount of cash on them immediately after the murder. His sister asking anyone who knows something to come forward.
I want justice for my brother's death. He didn't deserve this. He didn't.
Crime Stoppers says it may pay up to $5,000 for information leading to felony arrests. We have information on how to anonymously submit tips on our website. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
All right, on a lighter note, let's take things outside and get you ready for the weekend. Meteorologist Adam Caskey has your forecast.
A cooler day overall tomorrow. 47 in the morning. By noon, we're only at 54 degrees, then a high temperature of 58. So just struggling to even hit 60 degrees. So below average for a change. Average high, by the way, is 63. Notice we'll be there on Saturday and then up near 70 by Sunday and Monday. But the temperatures fall off again next week. Overall, we're seeing a cooler pattern take over again. And by next week, we should be back below average. Even some mornings near freezing by the middle of next week. As for rain, maybe a sprinkle tomorrow. Saturday morning, a few isolated, very light showers. Better chances now as we get into Tuesday morning.
A plume of smoke seen from miles away. This is video from our TransGuide cameras over a fire at a scrap metal facility on the southwest side. This isn't the first fire to happen here, and the San Antonio Fire Department tells us this is a common problem. Over the last 5 years, there have been 8 fires. It's unclear what caused today's, but no one was hurt. Farther to the south, Sky 12 flew over yet another fire. This is at Belen Street and Hidalgo Avenue near South Flores and Blue Wing Roads. In this case, Bexar County fire officials say an unauthorized burn of junk got out of control. Someone passing by noticed it and called 911. The flames are out now, and thankfully, no one was hurt in this fire either. We have more information on a deadly crash from earlier this week. The 2 people killed in the dump truck accident have been identified as 63-year-old John Hayes and 25-year-old Jesus Delgado Garcia. According to police, Garcia was driving a dump truck and ignored a red light. He then crashed into Hayes, who was in his BMW at the time. Hayes died at the scene, and Garcia later passed away at a hospital. Investigators don't think anyone was intoxicated. The Bexar County Medical Examiner has identified the man that was allegedly killed while attempting to break into an apartment. His name was Jeffrey Allen Davis. Police say he tried kicking the door down of an apartment in the 500 block of West Euclid near San Pedro on January 10th. The person living in the apartment heard Davis's loud attempts. The door was bolted, and when the door came down, the resident shot Davis in self-defense. Elsewhere, a garage door that was askew and a shovel in view are just some of the reasons a much talked about murder trial has not begun as scheduled. Andre McDonald is accused of murdering his wife and Andreen, but his lawyers are arguing that evidence at his home should not be used at trial. Erica Hernandez with the reason why the search for the missing woman is being put into question.
Every warrant the state has tendered to you has problems.
Defense attorney John Hunter over and over today arguing that search warrants done in 2019 by the Bexar County Sheriff's Office shouldn't be allowed in Andre McDonald's trial. McDonald's wife, Andreen McDonald, disappeared in 2019, and her remains were found almost 5 months later on a private property in northern Bexar County. The search warrants, the defense says, were done inaccurately, and that BCSO deputies had no reason to go into the home when they were called to do a welfare check on Andre McDonald the day after Andreen was reported missing.
There's no sign of anything out of the ordinary at that residence. Once we've shown you that law enforcement have made a false statement or a misleading one in this affidavit.
The prosecution countered, saying that when deputies noticed the garage door off the hinges and broken, it gave them probable cause to continue to look inside the residence a second time, which led them to finding a shovel in the back seat of a vehicle parked inside the garage. But the defense still insisted that none of that was relevant and the fact nobody was in danger. The defense says deputies should not have entered an open window to gain access to the home.
There's no fact that would justify a conclusion of an ongoing emergency. We have a warrantless entry into the home.
As of right now, it appears that Judge Frank Castro may be denying these motions concerning the search warrants, saying that there looks to be that there was enough probable cause for deputies to go inside after seeing that garage door broken. But this isn't it for this pretrial motion. There are other issues being brought up by the defense that will be taken up tomorrow. We will continue to follow it with testimony expected to begin on Monday. At the Kennedy Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Harlandale ISD is considering a big change for the upcoming school year. The district is proposing a shorter school week. The district has already started gathering input from teachers, staff, and the community about converting to a 4-day school week. Harlandale says it is looking to other districts in the state that have made that switch. If it moves forward with the change, Harlandale would be the first school district in San Antonio to have a 4-day school week. Hear from the district, a teacher, and parents on the proposal coming up on the Night Beat. The Transportation Security Administration found a record number of guns in passengers' luggage at our airport last year. The TSA recently released its numbers for airports across the country. And at the San Antonio International Airport, they found 108 firearms in carry-on luggage last year. In 2021, they found 65 guns. The agency wants to make this clear. Guns, silencers, or bullets are not allowed on your carry-on luggage, but you can travel with a firearm if it's in your checked luggage.
Make sure that your gun is unloaded, no bullets, that it's packed in a hard-sided container and that it's locked with a padlock, and that you declare your gun with the airline.
This is part of a national trend. The TSA reports that South Texas airports from San Antonio to the Rio Grande Valley saw a record number of firearm discoveries last year, 145 compared to 89 in 2021. When it comes to buying new cars, most Americans aren't paying the sticker price. That's according to car valuing company Edmunds. But that doesn't mean buyers are finding bargains. Last month, Americans paid an average of $300 less than the suggested MSRP, but roughly 35% paid above the sticker price. Just a year ago, 80% of customers were paying more than the sticker price. That was due to record tight inventories. The average transaction price remains at a record high. Last month, the average transaction price for a car was just below $50,000. That's up from $10,000 in 2019, which was before the pandemic. Lastly, coming up on the Night Beat, health inspectors visit 2 restaurants, one of them inside a strip club. The violations that had the city concerned for customers when we go behind the kitchen door. And with that, we are out of time. The 9 at Night returns tomorrow. Have a great night.